Welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to a live Manchester United news, transfer news and update show. Another source of information has confirmed that Casemiro has agreed a contract to join Saudi Arabia. Well, I say join Saudi Arabia, to join a Saudi Arabian team, not actually the international team or anything like that. Updates on Marcus Rashford, big news coming in Marcus Rashford, Barcelona going all out. People saying, well, can Barcelona afford it? Because they've only just got Dani Olmo in. It is Barcelona. It's like, you know how Chelsea find every loophole in PSR? Barcelona find every way to do everything they want to do. There's quite a few stories coming out as well. Diego Leon on his way to Manchester United sometime in the next week to complete the deal with the medical. More links to Huijsen, of all people, the Wonderkid at centre-back. I tell you what, him then Euro Kobo-Kukonki, that could be some pairing for the future. We've got updates as well. Antony versus Ajax. A couple other random stories coming in. Zirkzee's told United he wants to say. Mainoo news. We'll talk about Ruben Amorim's interview as well because he hints at the futures of Manchester United players. There's quite a few, I think, interesting things to touch upon, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. There's quite a lot of little news stories and stuff, and I want to keep this live short and sweet. I want to get into the news, but we're going to start, I think, with the Marcus Rashford story because this is sort of big breaking news coming in, not just from Fabrizio Romano, but it's been coming in from Spain for a while. There's also news of Rashford to Arsenal. Hopefully that does not happen, and a couple other bits and bobs. But look, everyone's going to say, how can Barcelona afford Rashford if they can't register Olmo? Well, they've got Olmo now. They've found a way. But that's what we're going to talk about in a second. And I will tell you this. I will tell you one thing about Barcelona is they are jammy. Chelsea found every loophole in FFP, haven't they, to spend. Manchester City have found every twist and every break and every rule and are probably going to get away with it. Barcelona are one of those teams that they're a big club, they've got the power. If Barcelona wants someone, they find a way. I don't know how. They find a loophole, they find a way. Someone said swap him for Fatty. I tell you this now, Rashford's a lot better than Fatty. I mean, his Brighton loan wasn't very good, was it? So let's dive into this. Initial contact with Marcus Rashford's agent and Barcelona took place this week. They're informed of the conditions for the loan deal. It's still early stages, no decision's been made. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that it is true. Marcus Rashford and his agent have had conversations with Barcelona. Barcelona are well and truly, in fact, in the race for Marcus Rashford. Now, a lot of people have been saying, do we take De Jong on loan? De Jong still has to want to come to us, which doesn't seem to be the case. You know, Barcelona are willing to let go of Ario. I mean, people have said, Alice, is there any Barcelona player you take on loan? And yeah, there is, but none of the players that Barcelona will give us. There's no one that I want from Barcelona I know that they would actually give to us. But Marcus Rashford is in talks with Barcelona. That's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. It's early stages yet. Now, we've been told for a while Marcus Rashford's dream is Spain. Marcus Rashford's dream move is Barcelona, and I think he really suits the side. Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Marcus Rashford, Rafinha. I'd swap him for Rafinha, but that's not going to happen. And as Alex B says here, Felix plays a more direct than typical Barca style, which suits Rashi. Marcus Rashford, in my opinion, really suits Barcelona. For me, I'd love to see Marcus Rashford at Barcelona. If he doesn't go to Barcelona, Milan, do not see him at Arsenal. I think Barcelona's the move for Rashford. It was also said that by Matteo Moretto, that Barcelona have joined the race for Marcus Rashford. First contacts have been established between parties. The initial formula remains a transfer of an option to buy. And then we've been told by a source that I'm not totally familiar with. I haven't seen his name pop up a lot. Now, apparently he does a lot when it comes to Barcelona. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you about Barcelona before I get into this news, and before I get into anything, is one thing I'm going to tell you about Barcelona media is they are probably the only team out there that is worse than Man United when it comes to things made up about them for clicks. I'd say Manchester United have the second most amount of stories made up about them for clicks. First is Barcelona, because in Spain they go on and 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 on. But a journalist who goes by the name of Tony Wanmarty, and I don't know how credible he is, so I will do some research after this, who seems to do work with Sport and Diario Sport, as it's called, has said that Barcelona will go all out for Marcus Rashford. He also said, let me get this back on the screen for you guys, he also said, as well as Barcelona will be going all out on Rashford, He said the club will bid strongly to secure the loan of the Manchester United striker, and Deco has taken advantage of its time in Saudi Arabia to explore the viability of this option, apparently. So interesting news coming out here in regards to Rashford. It was said that Barcelona have decided to go all to sign Marcus Rashford, and Deco is particularly interested in signing him. Rashford is also open to joining Barcelona, which we've known for a while that's his dream move. But Barcelona will bid strongly, and there's a possibility. It's a very real possibility, is what he's claiming. So you've got tier 1 journalists claiming there's interest, there's talks, and you have a slightly less reliable journalist, but he said this before. The tier 1 journalist said, any links of Rashford to Barcelona, that it's, it's a very real possibility. They're going to go strong. They're going to go all out. Could we get that breakthrough in the Marcus Rashford transfer? Could we get that breakthrough? He said, Alex makes a point here, understandable as Barcelona, absolutely massive club, attracts many click merchant rumours. Man United and Barcelona are the two biggest clubs when it comes to clickbait, merchant rumours, fake news about them. We should know from the De Jong saga. So the only thing is, it makes me want to take things with a pinch of salt. But Romano kept telling us the whole De Jong saga, it's not going to happen. Or he didn't say it's not going to happen, but he's saying he wasn't giving us false hope. Whereas you had, was it Gerard Romero, who kept saying, I can't remember what his name was. Things are happening, big things are happening with De Jong to United, and nothing happened. So it's obviously really hard to sense what could be going on with the De Jong situation. Someone said Arsenal have made a 21 million bid. They haven't made a 21 million bid, but that was a rumour as well. Rashford to Milan seems perfect for him. With Tammy, could be good teammates. Competition with Pulisic. Rashford to Milan is a decent option, but I'd love to see him at Barcelona. We will talk about Mbeumo of Brentford, and Mbeumo, however you want to call him. That is more older news, but I will touch upon that later on. There is talk of United apparently willing to go all out and make a 40 million bid for him and rival Arsenal, but again, that came out from Team Talk, and we've just been talking about how Barcelona is probably the one team that gets used more than Man United for clicks. And I think a lot of stories get made up in the January window about Man United for clicks. And I think maybe if we sell Rashford, maybe we do go for Mbeumo, but I don't expect any ins to happen until the outs happen. Romano did play the Frankie de Jong rumours down that whole summer. He kept saying he always wanted to stay there, whereas all the Barcelona journalists were telling us, oh, it's happening, big things happening. But Romano has confirmed the interest. And some Spanish sources are saying Barcelona are going all out to get this deal done. Apparently, Arsenal have contacted United about Marcus Rashford and value him at 21 million. We're not going to sell Marcus Rashford to a rival for 21 million pounds. So Arsenal taking the mick there. 50 million plus Man United were asked from Arsenal. You spent 65 million on Kai Havertz that had 2 bad seasons at Chelsea. Marcus Rashford, if you spent 65 million on Kai Havertz, had 2 bad seasons at Chelsea, Marcus Rashford in his second bad season at United, we want at least 50 million because he's obviously older than Havertz. Because there's a rival there. If Arsenal get Rashford back in form, there's a very good player there. People don't like Rashford in this fan base. People want him gone, and people have convinced themselves that Rashford is awful and rubbish and the problem. He's been pretty crap for a good year and a half. I know that. But I tell you this now, if you get Marcus Rashford back in form, I don't want him at Arsenal for a cheap price. 50 million plus. Barcelona could get him a bit cheaper. That's got to be the stance. So that's not going to happen. But apparently Arsenal are interested in potentially getting him on loan. But I think Rashford would choose Milan and Barcelona ahead of Arsenal. I'm quite confident that he would. Someone said, breaking, Manchester United are working on my nerves. I think they get on a lot of people's nerves as well. You pronounce it Mbeumo. People, because... Is it Mbeumo or Mbeumo? I don't know how people say it. I've always said it Mbeumo. But yeah, Rashford needs an abroad move, probably help the attention as well. Yeah, I just think if Rashford goes to Arsenal and it doesn't work for him in his first 3-4 games, the world's on him. In Spain, you get that good kind of PR. In Italy, the media leave you alone a little bit as well. So again, for that sense, particularly because Rashford is affected about what's wrote about him in the press, I think a move abroad is probably the best option for Rashford as well. But yeah, Sancho going to 25 minutes to Chelsea, what's the difference? The difference with the Jadon Sancho situation is that he's never performed in the Premier League. Marcus Rashford is a player that's had 3 20-plus goal seasons at Manchester United and is a bit more Premier League proven than Jadon Sancho. That's why the clubs that are interested in Marcus Rashford, Juventus, Milan, obviously Dortmund and Barcelona, there's a lot more interest in Rashford on loan than there was in Sancho. It was also said that AC Milan is serious about Marcus Rashford and Manchester United are open to a straight loan or with an option to buy. Now, interestingly, Man United have made it very clear they're open to loans for Rashford. So clearly the door is closed with Amorim. Because for Man United, because Ineos, one of the interesting things that came out 2-3 months ago was Ineos did not want a repeat of the Jadon Sancho situation, and they weren't going to be allowing any of their players to go out on loan with some of their wages being paid. They want permanent deals. They made that clear. Now Ineos are backtracking on that and doing what happened with Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford. So clearly the door there is closed with Ruben Amorim. Now I'm in two minds about the situation. Could United be using the fact that there's a lot of interest in Marcus Rashford and the fact that Barcelona is his dream club and pushing that interest to try and potentially get Milan to pay up what they want, because Milan might be scared now they've realised Barcelona in the race, to sort of speed this deal along? Or are Barcelona in the race serious and about to win the race for Marcus Rashford? That's the two ways I'd look at it. Of Barcelona in this, they're serious, believe all the media, or could actually this push Milan into giving Manchester United what they want? This could hurry Milan up to paying a little bit more money to try and make it happen as well. New coach and new ownership has come in. They've decided they're going to move Rashford out. The fact that they're willing to let him go out on loan tells you that Jim has made his decision. Yeah, I think as well. Barcelona's plan is to make an offer to sign Rashford on loan with an option to make it a permanent deal, said Mateo Moreta. No, Man United not discussing having any players from Barcelona go the other way as well. There was talk about Liverpool looking at Antony Robinson, which, again, they were looking at Kirkers earlier. Could be a hint that maybe they think United are going to get Kirkers in summer, some people are saying as well. It's interesting to see that just 2 weeks ago, journalists were saying there's no suitors for Marcus Rashford, and 2 weeks later, we've been told that Barcelona want him. We've been told that Juventus want him, that AC Milan want him, that Dortmund want him. It's interesting, but that's why I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to show you an example of why I don't trust the media. Let me make this bigger. I'm going to give you an example of why I don't trust the media. Bear with me one sec. Alice, how the hell will Laporta and Barcelona manage to register Rashford, sell more levers? I mean, that's the big question, but they always find a way. They always find a way. There's no truth in the news of Rashford to Como, into Miami, or Saudi. The whole reason Rashford wants to leave is to get back in the England squad. But let me show you this. But here's an example of why I never trust the media. So this isn't me targeting Melissa Reddy. This just because it came up on my feed, but there was about 4 or 5 or 6 journalists who were basically coming out and pretty much saying Marcus Rashford, no one's interested in him. No one wants Marcus Rashford. His wages are too high. There was multiple sources of information just 2 weeks ago. Why is there 2 of me? There we go. There were just 2 weeks ago. There was all this information coming out that, as it stands, no Marcus Rashford, due to his off-the-pitch behaviour, for mega salary. This was the same issue as someone, no one wants him. So we get that about 2 weeks ago. So while we're being told by Romano, reliable journalists, that Dortmund want him, AC Milan want him, Juventus want him, Barcelona want him, and Arsenal will want him. Arsenal want him on a very cheap price. This is why I'm very skeptical when it comes to the media. Let me just mute. For some reason, there's 2 of me. I need to mute one of me. That's why I'm very skeptical to believe when it comes to the media, because I feel like one person drops a story and they like to just sort of jump on it for clicks. I'm very reluctant. Is the audio okay? Is the audio okay, by the way? Because I am hearing 2 of me. Am I going crazy? I don't know if the audio's gone. It's okay. The audio's okay. But so, let me share the screen again. And this is why it came up. This isn't me targeting Melissa Reddy, because Jamie Jackson did this. Mark Ogden did this. But it was Melissa Reddy. He's every day UFC just tagged Melissa Reddy and said, and is this information still the same, or was your information at the time more of a hit piece? The mainstream media, blah blah blah. Not, as it stands, people saying that no one wanted Rashford. So that's why I'm skeptical with the media, because I could use multiple examples, but it just changes week to week to week. Bear with me, guys, because I am going mental. because I don't think you can see what I can see, but I see two of me. Okay, leave. Okay, back to one of me. Back to one of me. But I keep seeing two of me. Yeah. Okay. My whole screen glitched there, but this is why I'm fed up with the mainstream media, because it's report. But Rashford needs to go abroad to get the attention off him, because Rashford generates clicks, and the media love to write about Rashford non-stop. Have you noticed that 99% of the stories coming out at the moment are on Marcus Rashford, because they know that he gets clicks? So that's one thing I'm going to be skeptical about with the news and information. Is that's why I always say take every bit of information with a pinch of salt. Romano, Ornstein, Whitwell are the most reliable. Occasionally they get it wrong, but you have to take everything with a bit of salt. Napoli also apparently want Marcus Rashford, but the wages will make it difficult. He is apparently on the list. And then apparently Chelsea have a little bit of interest there as well. But I don't know if Chelsea would do that. I think, they're looking there. Kvaratskhelia. Someone said, would you think Liverpool would want Rashford? I mean, that was never going to happen. Do you know what? I thought Rashford would bring City a little bit of what they need, though. I tell you that. I think, Liverpool don't need. They've got Gakpo and Diaz. But Man City, I tell you what, they could do a favour from Rashford. So let's continue on into some more news. It was also said that Marcus Rashford's brother and agent, Dwayne Mainoo, is in Spain today after Barcelona entered the race for the forward. So apparently Marcus Rashford's agent is currently in Spain talking and trying to sort out potentially a deal. Milan, Barcelona, I think the next week it's going to be really interesting to see how these rumours break through. Of course, as I showed you earlier, you have to take every single bit of information that comes out on Marcus Rashford with a pinch of salt. But there's definitely something to follow at the moment, because Romano isn't someone that I think lies. A lot of media journalists lie and write pieces. Romano's always quite honest. He doesn't always get things spot on, and he repeats himself a lot, Romano, and he comes up with updates and it's just the same regurgitated words. But he's saying the interest is there, and you can trust Romano and Ornstein to know that the interest is there when they say it. You can't trust a lot of other journalists. Numerous clubs will see an opportunity and try to rediscover Rashford's form if they took the chance. 100%. He could join McTominay. He could join McTominay in Napoli, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'd like to use him in a deal to try and get Kvaratskhelia to go the other way, but I just don't think that's ever going to happen. But the contact is there. Juventus, Milan, other English clubs interested, but Barcelona now in the race for Marcus Rashford, and the player is going to study the proposals he has, says Matteo Moretta. So we've spoken about Rashford for like 15, 16, 17 minutes, too many minutes, too long, too much time. We've had Marcus Rashford stories coming out every single day. I'm fed up of it. Let's go and talk about something else, something positive. Let's talk about Diego Leon and talk about a couple of the potential ins. So it was said that Diego Leon will soon be on his way to Manchester and will spend a few days with Manchester United. He will then return to South America with the Paraguay under-20 squad ahead of the upcoming South American Championship, says Rich Fay via Mank World UK. So Diego Leon will soon be on his way to United. I'm assuming for medical, his announcement, etc. The deal is done for Diego Leon, but it can't be announced until he's done the medical, until he's done the announcement. So he's going to spend a few days at Manchester United in the coming weeks, which will be exciting. He won't officially join until the summer, but he's on his way to finalise that deal, spend a few days. Be nice to get that glimpse, a little bit like Burkle did last January with Tottenham, and then he joined in the summer. He will join United in this summer. So that's very, very exciting. Again, we need a left wing back now. Diego Leon isn't coming in to be our long-term left wing back. We're going to sign a left wing back in the summer. I think Diego Leon would be the backup that might be a bit like Ahmad. His first season is going to be in academy, and then maybe he is called upon a game here and there. But I would put Diego Leon in the second Kone category of where I expect him to be an academy player, and maybe once he's been here a year, and he could potentially be used more depending on injuries and what happens. Someone said, why aren't we even looking at triggering Alvaro's buyback clause for £16 million? We need a left wing back, and that's something that surprises me. Maybe Alvaro doesn't want to come back. Maybe there's reluctance there, or maybe they're very confident they're going to get Kirkus or Nuno Mendes in the summer, so don't want Alvaro because they can't promise him game time. I'm not sure. We could talk about that in more detail at another time as well. Kvara, I'd expect, wants stability and like guaranteed Champions League football. Yeah, as much as I like Kvaratskhelia, I think he's pretty much set on PSG, which is a dead league, but I think he's set there for the stability. Also, they're offering him 4 times his current wages at PSG. So yeah, someone said, Alice, you're echoing a bit. Am I glitching? I do apologise. Let me know what the stream is doing. I've had a few technical problems in the stream, as you guys are aware, but super excited for Diego Leon. He looks really physically built. I've watched a little bit of him. He looks really physically built. Good ball carrier, could play left centre back, but very much likes to get forward, left wing back. Can seem to get up and down the flanks fast, powerful, physically built, which I think when you look at what Amram wants in a left wing back, he's up there. And apparently he's in the top 5 highest rated talents in South America, which was also exciting. Continuing on to other news. Casemiro has agreed a contract to move to the Saudi Pro League in the January transfer window, says the Daily Express. We have sources from South America come out 2 days ago to say that Casemiro to Saudi was essentially done. He'd agreed to join Saudi. They now need to pick a club. No one else has touched upon that, so I'm going to assume that news is not true. The Daily Express, who isn't the most reliable source of information, so do take this with a pinch of salt, said that Casemiro has now agreed a contract to move to the Saudi League in the January window. More sources are coming out saying that Casemiro's agreed a contract, okay, and terms are agreed. Again, no one tier one has said terms agreed, he's agreed a contract, but we've got 3-4 sources now coming out saying that Casemiro's agreed a contract with the Saudi Pro League. Maybe he has, because they're reportedly offering him $650k a week. Why wouldn't he? But why aren't we hearing anything about this from the reliable sources? Which is why I'm sceptical of this. We know that United are working on a Casemiro exit. We know that Casemiro wants to go to Saudi. We know that Saudi want Casemiro. And we know that Casemiro's reps are in talks with Saudi. So we know there is something going on between Casemiro and Saudi. But I don't know if any agreements have happened. I don't know. We'll get updates on that potentially soon. It's also said that Manchester United have been informed that Joshua Zirkzee wants to stay and he has no intention of leaving the club. He wants to stay, prove himself and believe in his abilities. So Casemiro obviously open to go, United willing to sell him. Another player being rumoured to sell is Joshua Zirkzee. Even Amrin sort of almost hinted that he's not 100% safe in one of his post-match interviews after the Liverpool game. But it looks like Joshua Zirkzee wants to stay at United, will stay at United, despite interest from Juventus and Thiago Motta. I think Joshua Zirkzee is one of those where I think they're going to give it to the end of the season, and I think if they think he doesn't fit, he could go as well. Apparently, Barcelona's initial idea is to propose a loan with an option to buy deal for Marcus Rashford. The salary will also be paid by Barcelona, which is probably appealing to United. Someone said slide preparation underrated. Appreciate that. It doesn't take me long, but just takes me a little bit longer to prepare for lives. I'm assuming you mean Alvaro, Kirkus or Dorgu in January. Question is why Bournemouth signing Solar for 10 million? That's what I thought. But maybe they want to mould him in for 6 months and sell Kirkus in the summer. Because apparently they won't sell him now. But Kirkus out of those three, because as much as I like Dorgu, he relies on runners around us. And I think with the system was complete, Dorgu's a great addition. But I think we need someone that a bit more experience in the Premier League. Mendes again would be my first pick, followed by Kirkes. Third pick is Dorgu, but we do need a dynamic left wing back. For me, I know that maybe we can't get them to the summer and there's no point signing someone for the sake of it, but the difference between now and the end of the season a competent left wing back would make because of how important it is for Amron's system. I think it would help us score more goals because of carrying and aggression. Someone that can cross, but also just means that Delo can go back to his right-hand side. We're not relying on literally 2 fullbacks. Might be a shop window to move Rashford in. January if he does well, proper sale in summer. I think that's what United are thinking. Every team is willing to spend more in summer. So let's send Rashford out on loan in January. Hope he refines his form so we can get that 50, 60 million from him in summer rather than the 30, 40 million that people are apparently offering now. James Manchester Muppeteers has just confirmed Barca interest in Rashford is real. He knows his stuff, but it might involve taking players. Interesting. We'll have to see what happens there. But there is talk of Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. I think we could get some big updates because we know that is Rashford's dream move. Well, we've been told that Rashford's dream move before. It might not be. It's just what the media have told us. And the media tell us things, and a lot of it's not accurate. Now, Kolo Muani. Manchester United have been informed on developments in regards to Kolo Muani, but Spurs and Juventus are ahead in the race, says Fabrizio Romano. So if Rashford leaves, Kolo Muani looks like the most likely replacement, but he could be off to Spurs. Spurs who need to defend him more, but he's an improvement on Werner. Obviously, Juventus really interested in bringing in more attacking reinforcements. Kolo Muani could be one to watch, but we're not winning the race yet. I think if Rashford left tonight, maybe we're going for Kolo Muani and we beat Spurs and Juventus. But yeah, need wing backs that can beat their fullbacks, too static and no wide crosses. I agree. People said Kolo was bad. I'm not the biggest fan of Kolo Muani, But I don't want. If we have to sell Rashford, which we kind of do because of the Amarin situation, we need a replacement. I don't want Rashford going without replacement. So while I'm not the biggest fan of Colin Moani, if that's the best we can get because we can get him on loan, I will go ahead and do that. Also, other reports coming out saying, according to Tuto Mercato Web, who I don't think are reliable, they've said that Manchester United are eyeing Bournemouth's Dean Huijsen as a potential option in January, and Tottenham are interested. But Bournemouth bought this guy 6 months ago, so don't think it's possible in January. I think United and Tottenham are interested in Huijsen. Why wouldn't it be? Unbelievable young player. Again, don't think anything would happen in January. He's just started playing. He's just started playing well. I think Kirkes Summer, this guy, I think he's a next season signing in terms of 2027, I think, because he's only just joined Bournemouth. But I would love Huijsen at United. Huijsen, Euro, Kokonki in 3 years' time, if they reach their potential, would be insane. But I'm a bit sceptical about that. I'm a bit sceptical. We need proper goal scorers. Moani not clinical, and that's another point that you made that does worry me. He's not clinical. Cunha or Vissa? Cunha for me. I'd rather sign Wood from Forest, be cheap, prem proven. But Forest won't sell to us at the moment. Forest won't sell to us, but I think we need someone that's proven for Rasmus to learn off. I think we do. It was also said that Kobbie Mainoo wants to stay at United, although his camp believes he deserves better terms than the club have offered, again by Steve Railston. So obviously the Mainoo contract situation is continuing. It's advancing. It's not expected to run to any issues. I think Kobbie just wants to make sure he gets a good deal and is not mugged off and all of that as well. But I think that Kobbie's situation will be resolved soon. I think the media just trying to do a little bit of the scare-mongering tactic. You know what they're like. Oh, Kobbie will leave. Oh, this player will leave. That player will leave. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, people, I'm going to wrap up today's live show. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, and I've got a train to catch. But big up, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I hope that I got through all this nice and swiftly. If there's any breaking news, there'll be a video or live show tonight. If not, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching. Bye.